Brought to you by the new Pharaoh's Lounge Kickstarter. Huh. Eat a tummy right before you smoke the vape. You get the flavor. A little hot tip for you. Last night's fucking game. 5,000 times I was 2 points out, 1 point out, 2 points out. Just, ugh. It all fell apart. But Taysom Hill came to life. And Michael Thomas came to life in the fourth quarter. It's very close on that fucking lineup. But I didn't get it. So we got to merge some of my thoughts and my ideas with the old fashioned optimizer. A little bit of my system, a little bit of their system. Because I got to be honest with you, I'm getting sick and tired of fucking losing. For some reason, I guess because it's an early game, they got to learn how to win at 150 lineups. Whether they're using some hand building, using some information knowledge to manipulate your optimization. Point is, it's $500 the first place. 75 bucks, fuck it. I'm jumping into this 150 max because the idea is to learn how to win on these 150s so that you can take the money you win on these little 150s and then go into the $1 million fucking game, win yourself $1 million. They don't even have $1 million on fucking this week. This week it's two games of both half a mil. The Sunday night game and the goddamn Monday night game. They took the fucking million off the table, fucking DraftKings cunts. I think what happened last night, they didn't sell out that Jaguars Saints game. Right there at the end, I was waiting on like the last minute. And I just took a look for the fuck of it. I think they finished that at 121,000. Did it matter? I still fucking got my ass kicked. Got two, three, maybe four lineups in the nuts. Anyway, anyway, Detroit and Baltimore. I do the one unique. Again, I'm just learning this fucking thing. 150 lineups. No stack. No stack. Because if you did a stack for the Broncos and Chiefs game, you weren't getting that Cortland Sutton with 5 Chiefs underneath. No forcing, no randomization yet. We're going raw. Full cap. I'm not fucking with it anymore because if I fuck with it, I have reasons to lose. We'll go over our captains. Go over our flexes. Alexis and flexes. Top 6 cards in the deck right here. Lamar Jackson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jared Goff, David Montgomery, Mark Andrews, Jahmyr Gibbs. Let's take a look at the top 6. Crawl down to the bottom and find ourselves some relevancy. Lamar Jackson completed 21 of 30 passes for 223 yards and a touchdown, with 1 interception in Sunday's win over the Titans. He added 62 rushing yards on 13 carries. While Baltimore struggled in the red zone, Justin Tucker carried the offense with 6 field goals. Jackson did hit Zay Flowers for a 10-yard score in the second quarter, and the quarterback was able to extend plays and drives with his legs as he led the Ravens in rushing. Jackson's 5-3 touchdown interception ratio through 6 games isn't much, but he's completed at least 70% of his passes in 5 of those contests, suggesting better passing numbers should be ahead once he's fully comfortable with offensive coordinator Todd Monken's new scheme. Next up in week 7 is a home tilt against the Lions defense that's allowing 8 passing touchdowns through 5 games, a figure topped only by 4 other secondaries. Good lord. Got a lot of fucking mentions here. Get my lip pen away here. Tucker. We got Justin Tucker. Zay Flowers. Lions defense. Like that was more of a negative. Still, if it gets a mention, it's in play. The Ravens are rushing. All right, we got it. Zay Flowers, Justin Tucker. Nobody else is mentioned, right? That was it. Keep going. Amon-Ra St. Brown recorded 12 receptions on 15 targets for 124 yards and a touchdown in Sunday's win over the Buccaneers. St. Brown returned from a one-game absence caused by an abdominal injury, though he showed no signs of the issue. He tallied season-high marks in targets, receptions, and yards, and his performance was highlighted by lengthy receptions of 27 and 23 yards, former of which went for a touchdown. While St. Brown has been limited to either 7 or 8 targets in 3 of his 5 games this season, he still managed to top 100 receiving yards on 3 occasions. Fucking 33, Jesus. 15 targets, wow. He's the man. Jared Goff completed 30 of 34 passes for 353 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions in Sunday's win over the Buccaneers. He added 3 yards on 2 carries. The Lions have been content to allow their defense and run game to earn victories this season. But Goff was impressive on his way to a season-high 44 pass attempts. As has been the case, he showed the ability to connect with his pass catches for big plays, as he completed 6 passes of more than 20 yards, the longest of which was a 47-yard touchdown toss to Jamison Williams. Through 6 contests, Goff has recorded either 300 passing yards or 3 touchdowns on 3 occasions. The fucking man. Defense and Jamison Williams. It's 2 for the Lions defense. It's 1 for Jamison. Jamison on the board. David Montgomery didn't practice Thursday. Montgomery has missed consecutive practices after a rib injury forced him out of Sunday's win over Tampa Bay. Coach Dan Campbell already suggested the running back would likely miss some time, which means there's a good chance Montgomery will be listed as out or doubtful this Friday when the Lions release their final injury report for Sunday's game in Baltimore. Oh, shit. Looks like you're out, David. Both. Get him out of the captain, get him out of the flex. Mark Andrews caught 4 of 6 targets for 69 yards in Sunday's win over the Titans, while Zay Flowers led the Ravens in catches and was on either end of Lamar Jackson's only touchdown. It was Andrews who praised the team in receiving yards, with much of his damage coming on a 38-yard grab in the 4th quarter. That was the longest of the day for Baltimore. The veteran tight end has caught at least 4 passes in 5 straight games after missing the team's opener, posting a 24-294 3-line on 34 targets. He could be headed for a big day in Week 7 against the Lions defense that has allowed the most catches and the second most yards to tight ends through the first 5 games. Another one for the Lions defense. That's 2 for Flowers. That's 1 for Lamar. Lamar's on the board. Jahmyr Gibbs. Coach Dan Campbell said Friday that Gibbs is going to be a go for Sunday's game in Baltimore. Gibbs likely return from a 2-game absence and take on a role as Detroit's lead back, as David Montgomery hasn't practiced since his early exit from last week's win over Tampa Bay. The Lions may still opt to list Gibbs as questionable on the final injury report Friday afternoon, and there's also some question about the backup situation with Craig Reynolds, banged up as well. Campbell mentioned Friday that he'd prefer to ease Gibbs back into action, but doesn't necessarily have that luxury given the team's injury issues at running back, potentially putting the rookie in a high usage role this Sunday against the Ravens. Well. List Gibbs questionable. So Gibbs is going to be the fucking beast. High usage role. Craig Reynolds might be out, but he gets a mention, so we got to put him in. Craig fucking Reynolds. All right, that's the top 6. Let's make our way down to the bottom here. Looking for news, anything interesting? Nothing interesting on Charlie Collar. Old news. Guy don't do dick. Fuck him. James Mitchell remains sidelined. Mitchell's absence will mark his second straight due to a hamstring injury. Star rookie Sam Laporta has been deemed questionable, which leaves Brock Wright and Darrell Daniels as the Lions' only current health. I read this. It was Sunday's fucking game. Yeah, fuck this guy. He didn't play. Brock Wright and Darrell Daniels as the Lions' only current healthy options at tight end. Mitchell will now focus. All right, well, let's get him in. Fuck it. Laporta. It's one for Laporta. One for Brock Wright. One for Darrell Daniels. Peak of the Devil. No new news on Darrell. Nothing on Marcus Alexander. Looking for a possible sleeper before we eliminate these people from the pool. Nothing on Tarek Black. Eric Tomlinson. Laquan Treadwell. All old King news. Ferkser. Practice squad. Looking for anybody interesting down here that we can use. Nothing, just a bunch of zeros. All practice squad fuckers. Dylan Drummond. Nothing. Owen Wright. Antoine Green. This guy ever do any fucking thing? Nothing. This guy's dog shit. Kabinda. Nothing with nothing. Old news. Here we go. What we got? Isaiah Likely played 17 snaps on offense and wasn't targeted in Sunday's win over the Titans in London. Since taking on a 71% snap share in the Ravens' Week 1 win over the Texans while Mark Andrews was sidelined, Likely has predictably faded back into a smaller role on offense. He's played fewer than 1/3 of the Ravens' snaps on offense in 5 consecutive games and has gone without a target on each of the past 3 contests. I'm telling you, he's shite. Yes, he's shite. We got a mention for Mr. Andrews. Marvin Jones Jr. caught his only target for 5 yards during Sunday's win over Tampa Bay. After seeing nearly 60% of the snaps last week, Jones fell below 30% with Amon-Ra St. Brown back in action. With second-year wideout Jameson Williams' role set to expand as the season unfolds, Jones' playing time could dwindle further. It's 1 for Amon-Ra. That's 2 for Jameson. Brock Wright. Old fucking news. But he's in play. They didn't play Carolina, they played Tampa Bay. J.K. Dobbins. Old fucking news. Keaton Mitchell. I got it. Mitchell played 0 offensive snaps in his NFL debut in Sunday's win over the Titans. The rookie was activated off injured reserve in advance of Sunday's game after missing the first 5 of the season with a shoulder injury. Mitchell was unable to leverage his activation into a role on offense, however, as he only saw the field on special teams. Head coach John Harbaugh believed Mitchell played well on special teams, adding that offensive coordinator Todd Monken will be looking for opportunities to get Mitchell involved moving forward. Baltimore's leading rushers on Sunday, Gus Edwards and Justice Hill, mustered 41 and 35 yards respectively, so neither player may have gained much separation from Miller on the depth chart. Possible sleeper. 1 mention for Hill, 1 mention for Gus. Evan Duvernay played 14 snaps on offense and went without a target or rushing attempt in Sunday's win over the Titans in London. Sunday's game marked the first time since Week 1 that Duvernay went without a touch on offense. The speedy 26-year-old wideout made an impact on special teams, however, bringing back 3 punts for 91 yards. He's in play, but definitely no fucking captain. 'Tis a fine bond, but yours 'tis no pool English. Scotty Zylstra, nothing new on this fucker. Anything on these guys? Wallace, nothing, no numbers. Donovan Knight, this guy still ain't fucking playing, huh? This old news? He played against Carolina. What do we got? The Lions play Donovan Knight on injury reserve Saturday. Adam Schefter reported Friday the shoulder injury that Knight sustained in Week 5 against the Seahawks was season-ending. He joined the Lions September 20th. You suck, you gone. Fuck you. Waived by the Jets at the end of training camp. Knight played 2 games this season, registered 21 yards on 4 touches. Fuck your mother, you're gone. You have no use to us. Patrick Ricard, holding his lone target for a 3-yard gain in Sunday's win over the Titans. The reception was fullback's second of the season, with the other being a 14-yard grab in Week 4. Ricard will continue his operate as little more than a dump-off option in the passing downs and will primarily work as a blocker whenever he's on the field. But he's on the field. Kenyon Drake, cut from the practice squad. The 29-year-old played 12 offensive snaps across 2 games for the Ravens, rushing 1 time for 0 yards and catching 2 of 3 targets for 31. With Keaton Mitchell healthy behind Gus Edwards and Justice Hill, Drake is no longer needed in Baltimore. As a mention for Mitchell, it's 2 for Gus, 2 for the Justice. What do we got? Divine Ogzibo reverted to the practice squad Monday. Ogzibo logged 3 carries for 5 yards and caught his only target for an additional 8 in Sunday's Week 6 win over the Buccaneers. The 27-year-old could be in line to toll up the head of Sunday's Week 8 matchup versus the Ravens, as both David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs are dealing with injuries. Called up ahead of the matchup. Called up Divine Ogzibo. There's a mention of Montgomery, but it doesn't matter because he ain't fucking playing. Melvin Gordon III. Old news. Yeah, he hasn't played. Practice squad. Fuck him. Is he playing? Is he in play? They're not saying shit about him. One more elevation. Shit. I mean, he's got numbers when they do play him, but why would he? Nah, he's not fucking playing. They got Keaton Mitchell, all that other shit going on. This fucking guy's a bust. Bateman caught 2 of 3 targets for 15 yards Sunday in the Ravens' win over the Titans. Bateman played roughly 50% of Baltimore's offensive snaps, and yet he drew just 10% of Baltimore's targets, as he continues to have minor role in the passing game. He has not eclipsed more than 30 yards in any game since the opener, and his 1 target that did not result in a catch ultimately resulted in an interception on an apparent miscommunication. Bateman and the Ravens return home to face the Lions in Week 7, and although Bateman continues to play a decent chunk of snaps, there aren't signs pointing to his receiving production having a massive uptick going forward. Oof. They don't like him. Raymond caught 3 of 5 targets for 23 yards during Sunday's win over the Buccaneers. With Amon-Ra St. Brown back in commission, Raymond saw his fewest offensive snaps of the season, while tying his smallest offensive snap share too. However, he remained secure in his role as a punt returner, returning 3 punts for 33 yards, and he now sits 11th in the league with a 9.7-yard punt return average. Affected by Amon-Ra St. Brown, though. That's 2 for Brown. Nelson Aguilar caught 2 of 3 targets for 40 yards in Sunday's win over the Titans in London. The veteran now racked up 6 catches for 104 yards over the last 2 weeks. Aguilar played 52% of the snaps, which was the second most on the team among receivers, behind only Zay Flowers. With Rashad Bateman and Odell Beckham off to slow starts, Aguilar is sitting in as the number 3 option in the Baltimore passing game. The Ravens take on the Lions at home Week 7. Flowers, Bateman, and Beckham. That's 3 for Flowers, 1 for Bateman, 1 for Beckham. Oh, fucking hangnails drive me nuts. Sorry, technical difficulties. Justice Hill carried the ball 8 times for 35 yards and caught all 3 of his targets for 0 yards in Sunday's win over the Titans. Hill's 4.4 yards per carry were significantly better than Gus Edwards' yards per carry, but the latter still saw more touches on the day with 17, including a 16-8 advantage in carries. The Ravens' backfield timeshare will make it difficult for either running back to make a big fantasy impact, especially in a Week 7 tilt against the Lions' defense. Let's give up only 2 touchdowns to the position through 5 games. Another one for the Lions' defense. That's 4 mentions for the Lions' D. And they talk about Gus. 3 for Gus. Gus outsnapped him. Ain't that a shame? Ain't that a shame? Ravens D, Lions D, Riley Patterson. Riley Patterson missed one of 3 field goal attempts and made both of his extra point tries in Sunday's win over the Buccaneers. Patterson converted from 30 yards on his first field goal before missing wide right from 52 yards on his second. He rallied with a 36-yarder in the fourth, however bringing his season point total to 42 through 6 outings. Riley. Badgley, I'm assuming nothing. Jameson Williams recorded 2 receptions on 3 targets for 53 yards and a touchdown in Sunday's win over the Buccaneers. Amon-Ra St. Brown and Sam Laporta accounted for 26 targets, while no other Detroit receiver saw more than 3. Williams was among that group, though he managed to stand out thanks to the long 45-yard touchdown reception late in the third quarter. In addition to showing off his deep speed, Williams made an aggressive adjustment on the underthrown ball and managed to outmaneuver a defender blanketed on him. He has only 6 targets across his first 2 games of the season, though his performance Sunday could earn him a more significant role. Moving forward, Brown Laporta. That's 2 for Laporta. It's 3 for Brown. 3 for Brown. Odell Beckham Jr. caught 2 of 4 targets for 34 yards in Sunday's win over the Titans in London. Only Zay Flowers had more targets in the Baltimore receiving corps than Beckham. The veteran has yet to have a breakout game for the Ravens as he has not scored a touchdown through 4 games, and his season high for yardage is 37, which came in the opener against Houston. Baltimore's offense is still finding its identity in new Todd Monken's system, and Beckham is seeing a role when healthy, but not translating into fantasy-relevant production as of yet. The Ravens return home to host the Lions in Week 7. Zay Flowers yet to have a breakout game. Right now he's dog shit, but that's 4 for Flowers. Gus the Bus carried the ball 16 times for 41 yards and caught his only target for 12 yards in Sunday's win over the Titans. While he saw 17 touches to Justice Hill's 11 on the day, Edwards was far less effective on the ground with a 2.6 yards per carry, and Lamar Jackson wound up leading the Ravens with 62 rushing yards. The team's backfield will likely remain a timeshare, but Hill appears to be more dangerous of the 2 backs with the ball in his hands. Edwards will face a tough test in Week 7 against the Lions' defense. That's given up only 2 rushing touchdowns and less than 50 rushing yards in a game to running backs so far this season. That's 3 for Hill. That's 2 for Lamar. That's 5 for the goddamn Lions defense. 5. Houston then Hayden. Josh, baby. Josh Reynolds recorded 3 receptions on 3 targets for 50 yards in Sunday's win over the Buccaneers. Reynolds earned at least 5 targets in 4 of his first 5 games, though he saw a diminished role and fell into a group of 3 pass catchers with 3 targets Sunday. He managed to work efficiently with the opportunity, tallying long receptions of 21 and 20 yards. While Reynolds has established himself as a big play threat, The return of Jameson Williams and the ongoing involvement of Khalif Raymond make consistent production difficult of to bank on moving forward. Raymond and Williams. That is 3 for Jameson. That's 1 for Raymond. Where are they? Justin Tucker converted all 6 of his field goal attempts in Sunday's win over the Titans and had an extra point attempt blocked. Tucker had a busy day as Baltimore routinely got into Tennessee territory but struggled to convert those chances into touchdowns. As a result, Tucker had his most field goal attempts in a game since week 14 of his second season in the NFL back in 2013. 4 of his field goal attempts came from within 30 yards and only 1 came from beyond 40. Baltimore returns home to face the Lions in week 7. There's a lot of field goals, but it was fucking London. Teddy Bridge. Josh Johnson, nothing. David Blowjob, nothing. Tyler Huntley, nothing. Nate Sudfield can suck my nuts. All right, Craig Reynolds. Look how fucking high priced this fucker is. Limited at Thursday's practice. The Lions held out Reynolds from Wednesday's walkthrough due to hamstring and toe injuries, but he joined rookie running back Jahmyr Gibbs as a limited participant 1 day later. With David Montgomery seeming trending towards inactive status this weekend after failing to practice Wednesday or Thursday, Gibbs and Reynolds may have the best chance to suit up Sunday in Baltimore. Ultimately, listings of all 3 running backs on Friday's practice report will be telling for the Lions' backfield situation for that contest. He joined as a limited participant. All right. Hope they fade his ass. Sam. Wait. That was a mention of Gibbs, wasn't it? Gibbs. Yes. Gibbs on here? No, Gibbs on the board. Oh, wrong side. Gibbs. Gibbs is on the board. Sam Laporta practiced on a limited basis Thursday. Laporta continues to deal with a strained calf that flared up in the middle of last week, but he was able to play through this past Sunday in Tampa Bay and log a typical 84% of snaps en route to 4 catches on 11 targets for 36 yards and no touchdowns. He'll have 1 more session this week to prove his health before the Lions potentially tag him with a designation for Sunday's contest at Baltimore. Not a great point system, but the man has performed in the past. And finally, Zay Flowers caught 6 of 8 targets for 50 yards and a touchdown and added 1 rushing yard for his only carry in Sunday's win over the Titans. The rookie wideout holding his first career NFL touchdown on a 10-yard toss from Lamar Jackson in the second quarter. Flowers has been the Ravens' most reliable wide receiver in the early going, posting a 35-367 one line on 48 targets through 6 games. And if the improvements of the team's passing game efficiency under new offensive coordinator Todd Monken pay off, Sunday's score figures to be the first of many for the Boston College product in 2023. Flowers will look to return to the end zone week 7 against the Lions defense that's already given up 6 receiving touchdowns to wide receivers. Only the Eagles and Commanders have allowed more through their first 5 games. So that is 3 for Lamar. That's fucking 6 times the Lions' goddamn defense was mentioned. Let's fucking do this. Do this shit right. Do this shit tight. We love Lamar Jackson this week. He's a fucking beast. Let's raise some projections here. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's another 3, right? Jared Goff, we didn't really get much out of Goff. He wasn't mentioned at all. Montgomery, we don't like him. He's out. Mark Andrews. Let's give Mark Andrews a like. Gibbs, high usage. Let's give him a like. Zay Flowers, we adore Zay Flowers. They're all talking about Zay Flowers, 4 goddamn mentions. Sam Laporta, Craig Reynolds, Justin Tucker, Josh Reynolds, Gus the Bus. They brought Gus up a few times. They brought up Justice Hill and Gus. Let's give Gus a like. Jameson, we love. He got a lot of goddamn mentions that day. Bibbs there, Jameson there, Williams there. Riley, Lions D, that's a fucking adore. They just kept coming up. Justice Hill, Nelson Aguilar, Khalif Raymond, Rashad Bateman, Divine Agzibo, Patrick Carr, Devin Duvernay, Keaton Mitchell, Brock Wright, Marvin Jones, Isaiah Likely. All right, it's good. So they've cleared out all the garbage already, which is good. All right, good shit. All right, captains. Let's go into our captain's pool here. Lamar, Amon-Ra, of course. Goff, Andrews, Gibbs, Flowers, Laporta, Craig Reynolds. I don't fucking know. I don't see it. I don't see it. Nah. Justin Tucker, nice supporting role. Josh Reynolds. I mean, Gus is in there. Yeah, Reynolds has to be at least one, maybe. Gus the Bus. Odell's got to be in there. Jameson, we love. Riley, we don't need fucking kickers as captains now. Lions D is in play. Ravens D. If the Lions D is in play, then the Ravens D is in play. Justice Hill, Nelson Aguilar in play. Khalif Raymond as a captain. Maybe in a crazy lineup. Bateman, no fucking. I guess one. Ugzebo, no. Ricard, no. Duvernay, no. Keaton Michelle, no. Brock Wright, no. Marvin Jones, no. Isaiah Likely, no. But Bateman can pop the fuck off. He's out there. He's got the shares. All right, so we want at least one captain lineup for each one of these guys. They have to at least miss in one lineup. Okay, ready. See if that's enough to get us some optimization, huh? 150 lineups. Let's do this shit. Take a minute or two. Let's see where it is. There it is. Okay. I always want to see where that number is. Playing with our little toy. Will the toy work out in our favor? I don't think they have that new. They don't have that stacking boost in the no force team stacking. Open stacking options, player groupings. 150 lineups. Let's take a look at what they did here. Look at some combinations. Jackson Brown, Gibbs, Flowers, Justice, Bateman. Good 6 card, interesting. Flex, I kept it open. But let's take it. See. Let's see how many times. Let's see who was used the most as a captain. Lamar Jackson, most captains, 79 times. Zay Flowers, 30 captains. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 25 times a captain. 2 captains for Gibbs, 2 captains for Edwards. 1 for Bateman. Everybody else is 1. I gave at least everybody gets 1. The idea that maybe they pop off. I'm actually shocked there's not a lot of Jameson Williams a captain. I'd have thought to be more Jameson. I'm willing to go their way. I'm not going to manipulate this week unless I fuck it up, unless I lose. Then we'll have to start playing a little more. That could have just been one little pop-off game. Let's see what's going on in the flex. All right, so the most flex, of course, is Amon Rice, based on almost every fucking lineup. Zay Flowers, 119 lineups. Jameer Gibbs, 85. Jackson, 71. Justice, 58. Gus Edwards, 47. Mark Andrews, 30. Feel like we need more Andrews. I feel like we need more Andrews. That's only 20%, right? Yeah, it's only 20% of the lineup. Well, it says right there, I'm a schmuck. I'm sitting there trying to do the math in my head. Uh, I mean, they're saying Zay Flowers 119 fucking times. Maybe fucking Campbell. Campbell's a tight end. Maybe he learns how to cover the tight end. Yeah, I'm gonna trust this. I'm gonna go raw. I'm not learning to manipulate yet. I'm still learning how to use this motherfucking thing. Bateman comes up 21 fucking times. Well, he's got the snap share. He'll be low owned. Patterson. Where's Justin fucking Tucker? 11 fucking times? Wow. We're using the whole cap, right? Yeah. We're using the whole fucking cap. Again, the fuck do I know? I'm deferring, but if the guy did kick 6 fucking field goals last week, he got him only 7% of the fucking lineups. I guess his projections are low, huh? They threw Ogzebo in 5 times, Ricard 4 times. Josh Reynolds 6 times. Khalif Raymond also 6 times. Aguilar 10 times. Tucker. That's very interesting. Well, Devin Duvernay 14 times. Laporta 12 times. Ravens D 15 times. Where's the Lions D? Can't see the line. There it is. 12 times. Well, let's do this shit, huh? We feed it into the system. Watch this shit. I want to see some of these lineups before I go putting them in here. Jameer Gibbs. I guess we'll see him once we load him into here. Crazy shit, huh? Don't you hold back. Probably just keep it on the actual contest. Probably be easier to do it that way, I would think. Yes. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. May fate and fate decide your fortune if you should win. Blow your money on the new Pharaoh's Lounge Kickstarter. And that's how we do it, kids. That's how we do it. Peace, love, or all that other shit in between.